What is going on, my fellow YouTuberians? My name is Scrunt, and today we are back on some MX vs ATV All Out. So if you have been following any of the MX vs ATV news, you will know that they just dropped a brand new DLC yesterday. Sadly, I did not have a chance to actually pick up any of the DLC bikes yesterday, but I did today, and I immediately started making a video about the KTM 350SX-F. That is the bike that I got. Each one of these bike variants do cost $3 and like plus tax or something like that, but I don't know, I don't really look at tax ever, so $3 right there, and you can have a brand new bike. Now, the controversy that's going on within the MX vs ATV community is that there is no difference between a Husqvarna 450 and the Rainbow Studios 450, or a Kawasaki 250 and the THQ 250. That is entirely why I actually went with the KTM 350. It's a totally new CC inside of the game, and I basically, like, I feel like I have a brand new bike here. And if I got the 450 or the 250, yeah, you do get a new bike that says Kawasaki or Husqvarna on the side, but is it really a new bike? I mean, it's the same thing as the 450 and the 250 that we got right at the beginning of the game. So I decided in this video I wanted to do a little test on Iron Hill, the national track, to figure out which was fastest, the 250F, the 350SX-F, or the 450F. So right off the bat, we're going to kick it off with the 250F. I actually have a pretty good time riding on the 250. I think it's very stable. It's not too fast, and I really wish that it was a bit more fast, but I think that's just me coming from riding a 450 so much inside of this game. Right when I got this game, I had the $100,000 pre-order, or 100,000 moto credit pre-order bonus, so I instantly got the 450F and all the upgrades. And so as you can see, we just finished the 250F race, and out of 3 laps we got a time of 52.79. I'm sorry that I cut that clip short, but I can assure you that it was a 52.79 for my best lap time of 3 laps around this track. So right now we are on the 350SX-F, and I decided not to put any sound into this video just because the 350 sounds exactly the same as the 450. There is absolutely no difference, so I figured there's no point, right? I'll just put some music behind my voice and maybe you guys can chill out to it. So the 350SX-F, I've had a fantastic time driving. It's so stable, and it literally feels like a 450. It's got all the power of a 450, a little bit less acceleration, but it's got that tiny bit more weight that the 450 I think really needed, and it just makes the world of difference. Like, it is so smooth on the track and off. I'm absolutely amazed by how well they actually made this 350 bike. So the 350 time was a 51.47, so already off the bat we are beating the 250cc. So let's move on to the 450F. This is the bike that I've been using ever since I started the game. I've been using it every single day, almost on every single race that I do, and I love it. You know, I've loved the 450s all the way from Unleashed up, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving the 450s, but the 350 is actually giving the 450 a run for its money right now, just because the 450 is very light, and while it does have a little bit more acceleration than the 350, I feel like it is harder to control just a little bit. I can still control the 450 just fine, but why fight when you don't have to? You know what I'm saying? Like, the 350 is just like a walk in the park, and the 450 is like walking in the park with a dog that is trying to get off the leash at, you know, at all times. So I figured I'll just walk without the dog and have a good time with it. So let's compare the times right now. The 450 actually just got a 52.24 for the best lap time, and also I just want to make this very clear, I am not a professional racer, so if these times are off or bad or anything like that, I am very sorry. This is kind of just like my homemade test to see which bike was the fastest, I guess, around a track that I knew the most. So that's just my little homemade test. If you guys have different times, or the 350 or the 250 have different times than I do, I'm sorry. do your own homemade test. So, so the 450 got a 52.24, but it is not in the lead. The 350 actually takes the lead, takes the number one spot with a time of 51.47. Then it is the 450 with a 52.24, and finally the 250 with a 52.79. So I was actually kind of shocked to see these times. First, I was shocked to see how close the 250 and the 450 were. I thought there was going to be a larger gap than that. You know, it's 0.5, give or take a few seconds in between each other, so it really doesn't matter if you're on a 250 or a 450. I think in a straight line the 450 would win, but on the track it doesn't look like there's too much of a difference. So the 350, however, is a full, actually more than a second off of the 250 and a little bit under a second on the 450. That's insane. Just comparing the 350 to the 450, almost having a second on it, that's pretty crazy. And I don't think that I did anything different with the 350. I don't think I drove it any differently. I literally did all these races back to back to back. So I don't know. Those are just the times that I got. And honestly, after driving the 350, feeling how great it handles and how much power it does have, I'm not surprised. Honestly, I'm not surprised. So THQ Nordic, Rainbow Studios, you guys did a fantastic job with these DLC bikes. I kind of wish that, I don't know, you made it more worth our while to spend that $3. Like the 350, I feel was worth the $3 because it was a different bike, different CC that we just haven't seen in the game before. So I think it was well worth the $3 for the 350. But for the 450 and 250, probably not going to dish out $3 for that. But alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.